Hi everybody, this is Jenya Frida with the Staten Island Museum's Family Art Workshop, building your own birdhouse or a bird feeder out of a plastic bottle. So I have everything here that you need to do this project at home with your family, adults and kids working together. Let me go through the materials first. Those are going to be the materials that you will have at home, hopefully with no problems. Okay, so first, a plastic bottle, cutting materials. I have kid scissors and grown-up scissors. I need something to help me make a hole in the bottle, so I put together an assortment of materials. Probably everybody has a kitchen knife at home. Some of you might have a small box cutter or larger box cutter. A push pin could be useful. Now, all the cutting should be done by grown-ups. But you see kids have a lot to do in this project as well. I also have some string or wire, again, any assortment of what you might have at home. I have some acrylic paint to paint the birdhouse or bird feeder when it's done. And I have a glue gun for attaching some parts of the project. Again, it's actually not necessary, but it is a useful thing. And some random found materials that I just found around the house, and I'll show you what they are. I always like to have paper towels on hand when I do an art project, and I cover my work area with some newspaper or an old magazine, anything to protect my table because I might make a mess. So let's begin. The first thing I want to do, and here, you have to make a decision. Do you want a birdhouse or a bird feeder? The process is very similar, but for a birdhouse, I would recommend a smaller opening, like this one. This one is made out of a juice bottle, and you see a small opening right here. But for a bird feeder, I would recommend a larger opening, so you could put the feed in and the birds can have access to it. I'm going to make a bird feeder this time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Sharpie and draw the size of my opening. Now, since the adults are going to be cutting, I think it's fun if the kids are making the design. Let them draw the opening so they know where it goes, what they want to do. So I'm going to use my Sharpie and draw the opening here that I'm going to cut. Okay, on the bottle. So now you can see I'm going to make a pretty large one. Okay, and to start the cut on the plastic bottle is probably the trickiest thing. So what I want to do is I'm going to use this push pin, and just, again, this is not necessary. I've done it without the push pin before, but this is kind of nice to make a big, to make an opening, to make a little hole. So I'm going to push my push pin in one of the corners and just kind of moving it around to make the hole larger. And that makes a nice opening for my kitchen knife to go in and make the opening even a little bigger. I'm cutting the corner out now, and I am keeping, here, I'm going to show it here, I am keeping my bottle steady and not doing it while holding it in the air. And then now that my opening is larger, I can actually go in and start cutting it with the scissors, and I love the kids' scissors. They're small enough to go into those spaces and sharp enough to actually cut. But even though those are kids-safe scissors, I would still recommend that the adults do all the cutting. I already cut some of it right before this, so this is a little easier. I'm almost done. This might take you, this is actually the hardest part of the project, is just cutting that opening. After that, it's all just fun. Okay, so I'm making sure there's no sharp or jagged edges, because again, the birds are going to go in. If you have some sandpaper, you could make sure the edges are nice and smooth. I'm touching it with my fingers, and I can see that these are not sharp at all. Okay. Use my big scissors for this one with a stubborn corner here. Maybe that will work. Maybe not. Ah, got it. Okay. So now I have a big opening here. And guess what? My job is almost done. The next thing I might want is a perch, a place for a bird to sit so it doesn't actually sit where the food is. And there you could use your imagination. I found some old CDs around the house, glued down with a hot glue gun. You could create like a little step porch for your bird's house, for your bird, which is really nice and totally safe. Okay, so that's something we did on this birdhouse right here. It has a CD glued down and it's beautiful. Another thing you could do is you could use a wooden dowel, a stick, putting that in, making like a little porch for a bird to sit on. And the way to put that in, I would again use my push pin to poke a hole. So I'm gonna mark that down with my Sharpie first. I'm gonna decide, I want it to be about in the middle here, so I think this is a good spot. I'm going to poke a hole with my push pin here. And just like before, I'm gonna make it wider by just moving the push pin inside the hole as much as I can. And now I have this wooden dowel that I'm going to push in to the hole and move around again, making the hole wider and wider. But I actually don't want the sharp part to be sticking out. I'm gonna go the other direction now. And like this. And because I like to be safe, I would even say maybe cover the sharp point with something. Yeah. Once the dowel is in, the birds can sit on it. And to make it more stable, I would maybe glue this down with your hot glue gun and glue something to cover the sharp point on the back. Okay, I have some bottle caps, just all kinds of things found around the house. Okay, so for this one, I'm just going to glue down the CD. Okay, that's the easiest thing to do. Just gonna get some glue gun right on here, some hot glue, and just stick that on. And again, you don't have to really do this step, but it is a nice step to add to your bird feeder, okay? And now I'm ready to paint it. And again, this could be really fun for all the participants. So how do you want it to look? Do you want to choose your favorite colors? Do you want to make it look like it is a little house with windows and doors? You could do that. You could paint it all one color. So in fact, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to squeeze out some, white paint, and you will see that this bottle actually has a lot of sculptural details. And once I start covering it, those will really stand out. So here I have my bird feeder here, and I'm going to just start covering the whole thing with white paint. And as I do that, I can see the sculptural details of the bottle really stand out. So that gives me an idea of how I want to continue painting that maybe. So I'm just gonna cover the whole thing with white, have it standing here on the covered surface, so I'm not worried about getting white on my table here. Oh yeah, wooden sticks, another fun way to make a little perch. So this is something we used on this birdhouse right here. See the bottom here, the wooden sticks. Yeah. They just glue gun together, and here's a place to sit. Okay, that's another thing. Like I said, this project is all about what do you have around the house? What can you use? How can you get creative with it? So I'm just covering my whole, I'm gonna go as fast as I can, covering my whole bottle with white paint. Okay, so you could see the next step. I'm holding it by the cap, which I decided not to color for now because I think red might be nice to have on top there. Might actually add more red as I go on. So I did paint my whole bottle. I don't know if you could see this. It has, the way the plastic was formed for this specific bottle. This was vegetable juice. The way the plastic was formed, it has those kind of cool relief designs in it. So why not use them as I'm decorating? Okay, so I'm going to squeeze out, like I said, I'll use red, but maybe I'll use yellow first. I'm going to squeeze out a little bit of yellow paint. Acrylic paint dries really fast. So if you want to wait while your first coat is dry, it's only going to take a few minutes. I'm not going to wait. So if some of my paint mixes in a little bit, please forgive me. But acrylic paint generally dries really fast, so you can wait, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna take some yellow, and what I wanna do is I'm gonna just bring out some of those designs here in the bottle itself. But if your bottle is flat and doesn't have designs, of course, you can do whatever you like. So this is what I'm doing here. Just painting, and it's gonna start looking like a little window maybe. Just painting around this shape. Oh, I got out of, yeah, I got a little bit out of my lines. So that's all right, because acrylic paint is also extremely forgiving and you could always fix your mistakes with a little more color. I have some water here, so I wash my brush. So if I needed to, I can always fix it back with white. Okay, you get the idea. So you could paint whatever design you like on this. I might, okay, and last step, yeah, I might paint around the edge here, make it like a little roof. I think the yellow is not strong enough. Maybe I want to add some red. I'm going to start with the yellow because it's not strong enough. It's actually, again, very forgiving. So I can do that. And if I don't like the design, it's easy enough to cover it up. Okay. I might get some red paint to add the details that you could really see. But again, the design is up to you. So we had a lot of fun with this one here. This one that I already showed you a couple of times. We painted it going in gradation from green to blue and added some cherry blossom trees. No, this was fun. And added some white accents. And you know, you could really paint whatever you want on this surface. So yeah, I'm gonna, I guess I got some red paint out. I might add, try to turn this into a roof. So I might just add some little tile designs here with my paint. It's anything you want, really anything. Okay. And really get the kids involved in this step because I think they might be more creative than the adults. You know, you're turning it into a little house, circus building, imaginary castle structure. It really could be anything. Okay, final step, the string, because you want to hang up your feeder. So I have a string. I am going to take off the cap. I'm going to tie my string around, the neck of my bottle here. It's hard for you to see what I'm doing, right? It's just, I'm just tying a knot around the neck of my bottle. I want to see how much, maybe this much, right? So I'm going to cut my string again so I have a nice length. And then I'm going to, I need to work here on the table so you could see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to just tie it around the bottle again. And you could decide to get rid of the long string ends after you're tying them, or keep them hanging like this, kind of decorative. But the main thing is you're going to have that loop. You could hang your bird feeder or bird house on. And I'm going to now put the cap back on. Okay, Now, a few pointers. I love this project because actually this gets us outside. This gets us connected with nature. This gets us to think about the world around us. But of course, we want to be safe with wildlife around our homes. So a good place to put your bird feeder would be close to a tree, but not in the thick of a tree. So one thing I heard was recommended to put it about 12 feet away from a brush or an evergreen tree. That way your birds can fly away if there is a predator really quickly, but the predator cannot sneak up on them. So kind of open space, but not too open. Does that make sense? Also, what to put in the bird feeder. So spring is coming, and while you could always put food and not just bird seed, you could use peanuts, sunflower seeds, cracked corn. In the spring, birds also enjoy fresh fruit. And another thing that is kind of interesting that I just found out, because the birds are building their nests, you can actually put little pieces of string, human hair, pet hair, even little pieces of yarn or fabric, tiny pieces into your next to the feed in the bird feeder, and they will collect that. And who knows, they might make their nest using those materials in the birdhouse that you could also build yourself. Hey, this is it for the Staten Island Museum's Family Art Workshop, and I hope you enjoyed this project. Bye now.